Dr. Carey Yazeed, and today I want to talk to you about how to be a better salesperson. So this video is really for like that new entrepreneur who's just like, I don't think I can sell anything. Or let's clarify just some misinformation that you may have received and you're not getting any sales in your business. So hopefully this video will help you. So when it comes to sales, one thing that I see a lot of people not doing, and I actually had to correct a client about this, is when they are interacting with other individuals, usually they are so nervous and they're so focused on the sale that they forget about their body language. So the most important thing to do is to always smile. It doesn't matter if you are nervous, like you're unsure of yourself, smile through the entire conversation. Even when you are on the telephone with a prospective customer or buyer, make sure that you are smiling because the genuineness and the warmth comes through. But if someone is standing there trying to interact with you and you're not smiling and you just have this set, dead face, it's intimidating and it will push people away. So make sure that your body language is warm, it's inviting, and that you have a smile when you are interacting with a potential customer. The second thing that I need you to do is you need to know who you are talking to. And when I say that, use their name, okay? So that means that if you're corresponding in an email, you're on the phone with them, repeat their name back to them. If you have to, write down their name. But I know it's a pet peeve for some people, especially for me. If I'm getting ready to do business with you, and you don't take the time to acknowledge me by my name. The other thing is if that person has a title like doctor or attorney, some people do prefer if you use their title. So, if you're unsure, use their title and then let them correct you along the way. Make sure that you're listening to them. So I hear so many people, they're so caught up in trying to sell the person the product or service that they have that they're not sitting down and practicing active listening. So they're not listening to their potential customer or buyer. They're doing all of the talking. They're not letting the other person, the customer or the buyer, do any of the talking. And it's a missed opportunity because when you don't allow them to talk, you are not finding out more information about them. See, this is a time when you are collecting data. So allow them to talk. And you might ask some questions to clarify exactly how it is that you can help them. So, ask what their problem is. Also ask, how can you be of service to them? How can you help them to resolve this problem? And then you need to shut up, sit back, smile, and listen. Also, make sure that you repeat back some things that they say. That way, that lets them know that you really are listening to them, okay? The next thing, turn off your cell phone. I know we live in a digital age, but you do not need to be preoccupied with your cell phone, checking your email, seeing what's going on social media. You have a potential customer or buyer in front of you or on the line with you. They deserve 100% of your attention. Everything that's taking place on your cell phone can wait until after this meeting. So again, you can't give them eye contact if you're looking at your phone. You might be smiling, but they don't know if you're smiling at them or you're smiling at the person, at the message you just got on your phone. So put your phone away, cut your phone off, give your potential customer your undivided attention. Next, again, I said this, make sure you're asking them what are their problems as they relate to what it is that you do and how do they envision you working together and what would success look like if they worked with you. The next thing is pay attention to their language. So customers tend to buy from you when you can speak their language. And when I say speak their language, that means using words that they would use, using phrases that identify with them. And the first thought that they will have is, oh my goodness, did she just read my mind? And technically you did because you're listening to how they use words. You've also actively listened to customers that you've had in the past. And so if this is your ideal customer, the way that they think and the language that they use is going to be consistent. So again, you miss it if you're not giving them your undivided attention, if you're not actively listening. But when you start to hear the language that they are using, use that language back with them, because that creates a connection, but it also allows them to feel as if you really do know them and that you really are concerned about them, which I hope you really are concerned about them if they're going to be a potential customer. Lastly, when it is your turn to speak, make sure that you tell them a story. Stories are a great way to bring people in, to develop that connection, and it also allows them the opportunity to get to know a little bit about you. Things that you shouldn't do when you are working with building a relationship with a potential client is that don't sit there and talk about yourself. That person wants to know, what can you do for them? How is this going to benefit them? It shouldn't be about you. They don't care about your degrees. They don't care about all of that. And you really shouldn't be saying a lot. But when you do have an opportunity to speak, make sure that you are telling a story that that person can relate to, that will bring that person in and make them say, okay, they really get it now. Stories are a great way to help people get to know you better. Stories also allow people to see you as an expert. And usually stories are going to be like a case study. It's a case that you worked on, a client that you worked with, and you're sharing the success of that client, probably without using that client's name, as I would think. So I hope that these tips that I've given you today will help you in the sales process. I know you're probably sitting there saying, that's not how I envision sales, Dr. Carey. Well, take it from me. That is part of sales. And that is the major part of sales, because people buy from people that they know, people that they trust, and people that they like. The tips that I gave you today will help you in those areas of allowing a potential customer to get to know you, to like you because you're actively listening to them, to trust you because you are using their language and you're giving them back the language that they've used. You're also asking questions and you want to know how is it that you can help. You are truly being sincere. Those are the foundations of a good salesperson. And once you get those, selling becomes easy, because then they want to know, well, what do you have to offer? What can you offer me that will help me? And then that's when you tell them about your product or your service that can benefit them. To learn more about me, make sure you visit my website, thebeautybrainsandbusiness.com, and make sure you check out my podcast that comes on once a week on Apple Podcasts, which is Beauty, Brains, and Business. Hope you have a great week.